Brad.
Hello, John. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Very well. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us this afternoon.
Pleasure. I'm sorry I'm a little late.
That's okay, mate. What have the band been doing the last couple of months?
Well, we've had a little time off. We got back from an American tour and just before Christmas, so we decided to have a few weeks off before Christmas and around Christmas. And for the last 2 weeks, we've been rehearsing flat out for this tour and getting some new material together for the tour and for the next album.
How was America for you this time?
Fantastic. We had a great time. Actually, we toured America for a total of about 16 weeks this year, and it was really, really good. It really worked.
Do you all sort of have families and everything? Do you take them on the road with you?
Yeah. It makes it easier that way. I can almost stand a couple of weeks, but that's as long as I can go without seeing my wife and son, and it's too hard otherwise, so we get them to fly over, and I normally base my wife in LA, and she'll fly out a couple of times to see me and bring the boy out so I can say hello to him and he can recognise me again.
How do you actually travel around the States? Have you got a big coach or something?
Yeah, we have a big bus that has television and video in it, and video games, and a great sound system, and beds too, so it really makes it easier. And quite honestly, it saves us a lot of time. We can either leave after the gig and go straight to wherever we're going, because the roads are so beautiful over there that you don't really know, and it takes an hour to get to an airport, an hour to get on a plane, an hour to get off and get your luggage and so forth. So it really does save us an enormous amount of time, and we don't lose any baggage that way.
When do you think you'll be heading to America again?
We'll do a summer tour. I'm not quite sure when we'll do it, either before July or after July, because one of the guys in the band, his wife's expecting a baby, so...
Right. The Net album last year, John, were you happy with it being your first album with the Little Rivers?
Well, I was happy with it at the time, and in retrospect, there were a lot of things that we'd all change, but yeah, I was proud of the album. I think it was beautifully recorded, beautifully played, and, we did the best that we had at the time. But, the best that we have this time is hopefully even better.
Right, you recorded that one in Melbourne after the last of the River Band album was recorded overseas with Glenn Shorrock.
Yep.
Was it a conscious effort by the band to record here instead of America or overseas?
Well, the only time they've ever recorded overseas was when they did the album with George Martin in Montserrat. And I can't even think of the name of the album.
Time Exposure.
Oh, Time Exposure, of course. And they've always recorded here in the past. It wasn't particularly a conscious effort. The most difficult part was that the band was going through a few problems at that time, and Glenn Shorrock was sort of thinking about leaving, and finally did. And I joined the band an hour before we started recording the Net, so it was a little difficult in that way.
Did Beeb and Graham write any differently, taking into consideration that you were going to sing the songs with a different style and obviously a different range to Glenn?
Well, we have been able to do that on this next album, the current material that we have. Of course, the last album, as I say, I joined the band an hour before we started recording the record, so the songs were basically chosen and all there. So I just had to come in and we changed a couple of keys and I got to sing them. But this time the record will be made by this lineup and for this lineup, and it'll work a lot better, I think.
Who'll be doing the production on that? Do you know yet?
Well, yeah, we have a couple of guys, but we sort of haven't settled yet properly.
Right.
But we're going to record it in Sydney, I think, which we're all really excited about. Because Sydney has such a great vibe and everything. And Wayne, our bass player, our American friend, lives in America, and he really likes the vibe up in Sydney, and so does our drummer Derek, and in fact we all like it up there, so we're going to come and give it a shot up there too.
Bring your bathers and beach towel, mate.
Get into some trouble at the cross. No, it'll be nice.
Good. A couple of songs on the album. John, Down on the Border was the biggest hit for the band from that album. Mm-hmm. It was an unusual sound and probably a good starting point for you with LRB.
Yeah, well, that was the first single from this lineup, and in fact it was the biggest selling single the band's ever had in this country. And we were really very happy, and we had quite an argument with the American record company. They didn't want to release it over there. They didn't think it would be a hit. And we all still believe very strongly in this song. It's good fun, and it has some difference to it.
Right, when they actually released The Other Guy in America, didn't they?
Yeah.
When you sing that song, do you ever have Glenn in mind?
No, Graham wrote that on a paper bag, on an old hamburger bag. He's a vegetarian. I don't know where he got the hamburger bag. Coming into the studio one morning, and we decided to record it there and then. But no, it's nothing to do with Glenn.
Do you still, get compared to Glenn a lot now?
Well, the band, particularly in America, obviously here it doesn't happen because Glenn is a performer in his own right, and I was in mine. In America, the band has always been pretty well faceless, because Glenn is a performer in his own right, and I was in mine.
Compared to Glenn a lot now?
Well, the band, particularly in America, I mean, obviously here it doesn't happen because Glenn is a performer in his own right, and I was in mine. In America, the band has always been pretty well faceless. And I have people come up to me and say, hey, we saw you 6 years ago in Idaho somewhere. And I say, well, I really wasn't with the band then. And they'll say, oh, really? So some people notice and some others don't, you know.
Because there have been a few changes with the Little Rivers, can you give us a rundown on the lineup as it stands now?
Lineup at the present moment?
Yes.
Righto. Well, on keyboards, who is our newest member, is David Hirschfelder. And David was playing with a fantastic jazz band called Pyramid before he joined the band. And he did the last American tour with us. And he's as close enough to rock and roll for a genius as I've ever met. He's absolutely amazing on the keyboards. We call him Dr. David because he's got all the synthesizers and sequences and all the junk in the world. He's on keyboards. Stephen Housden on guitar. Stephen was formerly with the Imports. And Stevie's been with the band for nearly 3 years. There he is in the background there.
Hello.
And then on drums, of course, we have Derek Polici, who's been with the band from its inception. On rhythm guitar, we have Graham Goebel, who is the founder member, basically. Graham began the Little River Band. That was his brainchild. And who else have we got? Wayne Nelson, our token Yank. Wayne lives in San Diego, and he was with the Jim Messina band for a long time. In fact, that's where the guys met him. Jim Messina's band was supporting Little River Band on a tour for 2 weeks, and they saw Wayne and heard him play and heard him sing and were absolutely blown away and asked him to join the band, which he very fortunately did. And I'm the singer.
Right, Wayne is also a good singer, isn't he?
Wayne is a great singer. In fact, he's written an amazing song called Piece of the Dream, which is going to make the next album. It's a real hit. It's a real good song.
Right, how do you actually decide when you get into the studio who's going to sing what?
Well, it comes down to what's going to sound best. Some things suit Wayne and some things suit me. It really doesn't worry me overly much. I guess because of the situation, I get to sing the bulk of the songs. But I'd be quite happy to let Wayne sing 8 of the 10. It really doesn't worry me. Whatever is best for the band is what's done. And we're all very involved in that. You know, I've written a thing that I want Wayne to sing. If it makes the album, because I think he'd sing it better than I. It just works that way, you know.
Do you do a lot of songwriting, John?
Not a great deal, no. No, not a great deal, but I've been working very hard at it for this next album. I've done a couple of things on the album, which I'm real pleased about.
It'd be nice to see one of your songs on the album.
Yeah, well, they're different. They might be a little naive, but they're different.
Right. What were the reasons behind Beeb deciding to leave the band?
Well, I mean, it's like any other situation. Being in a band is tantamount to being married to everyone else. And, you spend 99% of your time on the road in someone else's back pocket, and it can be difficult. And I think the basis of it, I mean, everyone runs around and saying, hey, musical differences. But that, honestly, is basically what happened. And it's the same with Shorrock. And the same in the past with all the other people that have left the band. A musical difference. Beeb was at a stage where he thought the band was going away from where he wanted to go. And he just couldn't get excited about what we were doing, and consequently left. Do
you think there's any chance of Beeb and Graham continuing to write together?
Oh, yeah, a distinct possibility. I mean, we all keep in contact, and that was a damn good team. And, I'm sure that'll happen. I mean, there's no bitterness, no regrets or anything. I mean, if it works that way, it works, and I'm sure they'll write together again, yeah. Right,
so when do you think you'll actually start recording the new album?
We've got the times booked up in Sydney, but I haven't got anybody here to give me the dates. But as soon as we find them out, I'll get them to you. It's, I can't remember. We decided on it yesterday. They call me Airhead.
It's in the next couple of months anyway.
Oh, yeah, in the next couple of months. Well, actually, we tour for a month, then we come back and have a 10-day rest period. Then we're going to rehearse in Melbourne for a month. And then we'll come up to Sydney for 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks to record.
Where does the Australian tour take in, John?
We go up to Queensland first of all, then we come down to Sydney, and then, here we are, I have the dates here actually. I'll give them to you, if you'd like them.
Yes, I'd love them.
We come up to Newcastle on the 17th of January, And then on the 18th and 19th, we're at Wollongong at Shell Harbour. Then Friday the 20th, we're at Revesby Workers. Saturday the 21st is Gosford, the Central Coast Leagues. Then the 27th is Penrith Leagues Club. And then on the 23rd is the Auburn Baseball Club. And then we go up to Queensland.
Right, what's in the live show these days?
Well, naturally we do all the songs that the band's famous for. I mean, you know, all the big hits are there. We have a lot of stuff off the old album. And hopefully by the time we get up there, we'll have 6 terrific new songs from the new album to play in to bounce off people, see what happens.
It must be hard to cull it down from all the previous hits, because there's so many of them.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and I've only been in the band for 2 years, and I mean, I really get joy out of singing some of the songs. And the guys have been playing a long way there for 10 years, and they're dead sick of it.
Yeah.
But I've only been singing it for a minute, and I absolutely and thoroughly enjoy it. But they went out in the end.
All right, John, thanks very much for your time this afternoon.
Pleasure, Brad.
Just before you go, could I get you to do a couple of IDs?
Yeah,
First of all, one just John Farnham on Today FM, and then one, this is John Farnham from Little River Band on Today FM.
Okay.
When you're ready, mate.
All right. Hi, this is John Farnham on Today FM. Hello, this is John Farnham from the Little River Band. You're listening to Today FM.
And just one more thing, John.
Yep.
For an Australia Day promotion, we'd just like to have a think about it for a tick. Why you like Australia?
Whoa, heavy traffic.
Just in, 10, a dozen words.
All right.
When you're ready.
I like Australia. I was originally born in England, and I came out to Australia when I was 10. And people tend to say, hey, but you're English, and I'm Australian through and through. And after joining the Little River Band and having been all over the world, all over the place, it really sounds trite, but Australia is home. There's no place like it in the world.
That's great. Thanks very much, John. All the best with the tour.
Thanks, mate. I hope we see you up there.
We hope you do.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.